everybody. Hello, guys. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Saturday. Okay, guys. So I was sitting here and I was looking to see what was going on in the Bravo universe. And, well, there was the Teresa Giudice and Louis Ruelas facing allegations of insurance fraud. Covered that. Posted a poll in the community tab, so check that out. We got a new Peacock show called Love Hotel. At least that's the slated title right now, and we don't know if that'll stick, but go check that out as well. And then I saw a few clips where people, Vanderpump Rules, we'll get into it. I could explain it for you, but why not just play it for you and react to it, talk about it? I want to open the conversation. So smash that like button, show some love. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and happy Saturday. Just kidding. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. The Vanderverse, the Vanderpump Rules Vanderverse is it always has some shit going on. We don't know what's happening. We don't know if it's gonna go so left that it goes right, or if it's never gonna go right at all. I don't even know what the hell that means or what I just said. But what I do know is there's a lot happening. Here, I'm going to play some clips for you. Thank you to Breaking the Rules Pod. This first one, it got me a little. Here we go. So Nick Viall goes on a 90-second rant about Chef Penny, and they're saying it's so spot on. That would be on the Viall Files podcast. But if you guys are not familiar, Nick Viall does not like Sheena, but he does like Katie, which means since she opened something about her with Ariana, Ariana is a shoo-in for him to like too, because now Katie's podcast is on Nick Viall's podcast network. All right. So they have a relationship. So of course he's going to stick up for his girl. This is what was said.
It seems terrible.
Go on.
Well, because what I'm understanding is that Chef Penny owns the trademark for something about her.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, and then that she's claiming that she was promised like 10% of the partnership.
Maybe so. I don't know what conversations Katie Ariana had with Chef Penny, but like Chef Penny, is it true that her husband is a lawyer?
Yes.
I feel like that's all I need to know about this situation is that Chef Penny was almost certainly brought into the situation because she did have the business acumen, the restaurant experience, the sandwich experience that Katie and Ariana maybe didn't have. But what Ariana and Katie have that Chef Penny doesn't have, there's a lot of people with restaurant experience and business experience. There's very few people that have the influence and power and platforms that Katie and Ariana have, which is way more valuable than what Chef Penny can bring to the table. But she brought her business experience to the table and then at some point probably went to Ariana and Katie and said, hey, I can get the trademark. But instead of putting it in all three of their names, she only put it in her name. And having a lawyer as a husband, they would have the foresight to do that. And now that she did that to protect herself, now she's now suing Ariana because whatever conversations they had about their arrangement didn't go her way. It just seems shady. It seems like very dubious. And unlike Tom Sandoval, who like, again, he doesn't seem to be the greatest guy, selfish and self-centered and all these things, but he's also like not very bright. And this seems like nefarious where she knew what she was doing. She got ahead of it. She leveraged her knowledge and experience in the business world. And now she unfortunately has Katie and Ariana by the balls because she owns the fucking trademark over like something that like they could have done this with so many other people. Like Chef Penny wasn't like the person who was going to make this fucking happen. And she came in and found a way to basically get leverage that she didn't have without this by not being honest with them. She made them feel like she was on their team by finding this trademark only to realize that like she wasn't helping them out. She was helping herself out. And it seems really fucking shady. Chef Penny seems terrible.
I mean, listen, I did say this to you guys. Let me just bring me up. I want to talk about me. I want to talk about number one. Oh, my. So, to get into this, Chef Penny, I told you guys before that I ended up working around her at TomTom. And she is really, really great at her job. But I do agree with what Nick Viall is saying in this scenario. It seems a little shady. It seems like you went in, you tried to take something from somebody. Like, it just seems the way that they did it was shady. Or the way that she did it. Seems like she knew exactly what she was going to do. And like he said, she wanted to get them by the balls. And I agree with that. I mean, I'm a fan of her as like a personality and as a person, like seeing her on the street, she's the sweetest woman. I didn't know that. I wouldn't have figured that she would have been capable of this. You know who she would have never been able to pull this
on would be Lisa Vanderpump and Ken Todd. And then also, what is Lisa Vanderpump thinking now, knowing that she was the one who recommended Chef Penny to Katie and Ariana? This is some shit. But hold on, there's more. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but we have, remember Ann Madix? Yep, she was the one who was working for Tom Sandoval. Yeah, well, now I guess Amanda, her co-host, is talking about Nick making her choose between her own podcast, we signed an NDA, and continuing on the bio files. Listen.
Once you had that established job, when did you decide to, start this podcast with Anne? And was there any sort of fear associated with leaving something that was sort of a sure thing for something that maybe wasn't?
Yeah, I mean, to be like fully candid, I think I had hoped that these two things could coincide in developing this role. I was really open to a level of involvement. I think it was really hard walking away from a show I cared so much about and put so much time into. I completely understand that, like, my old boss is a businessman. He has a lot of different priorities. And once, so I think I spent so long developing the show, hoping it could be something that would be additive to the company that I worked for. And then just based on like kind of other factors of like running a business and constraints of, that like some of which I was privy to, some of which I wasn't, because, I'm not CEO of this company. I'm just an employee. It became clear that it was one or the other. And so at that point, I think it was like,
once you had that established job, when did you decide?
Okay. I mean, also, yeah, like they said, it's a business, and sometimes people don't want, I know for a fact a podcast company that wanted to work with me, they were telling me what I could and could not do when it came to my YouTube channel, and how I would have to ask for certain permissions. And, like, well, if you want to be represented by us, then you kiss the ring. And I was like, you can take your ring and shove it up your, whoa! Because I worked my ass off building this channel, and I wasn't about to give anything away to anyone. Not for somebody to put their name on top of mine. One day I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you believe in yourself and you just know what you're doing and you believe in like the way that, like, you create a plan, you follow through with the plan. That's the thing, is I have a lot of follow through. So you follow through with the plan and you just kind of have your blinders on, so nothing else is going to interrupt that. You're going to be so successful anyway. So then when another company comes in and they're like, well, we want to work with you, but then we also want to control everything that you've built over the last few years, because we can see it's a well-oiled machine, but we're attaching our name to it. I'm surprised that she left a job that she was getting paid good money for to go do that with Anne. But a lot of people who do podcasts don't know how to get their own ads. And she obviously does, because she worked with Nick Vile. So maybe she's making a shit ton of money anyways. I don't know. I want to hear what you guys think. Pop off in the comment section, please. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And also don't forget that it's Saturday. So just like, be cool, man. Sit back, relax, have a cocky like Marisol Patton says, or just get outside and enjoy the fresh air. But be safe with whatever you do, and we'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.